Hi there, let's get ready together. Today I have a look in my brain. If you can see behind me that orangey red top, it's a really pretty blouse. That's what I'm going to be wearing today. So I'm going to do a warm look to go with that. And let's get started with our eyeshadow primer. This is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance eyeshadow primer. This does not change the color of your upper eyelids. It just gives your eyeshadow something to adhere to and helps the eyeshadow to last longer. I love it when I have a long time to get ready. Today I have an hour to get ready and just have fun. I like to plan well so that I can enjoy getting ready. For a face primer, I'm going to use the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This is, I think, the stickiest primer that I have in my collection. I'm not a huge fan of the sticky primers, but the Milk is an exception. I kind of really rub it in here, mostly in the center of my face, where makeup would tend to wear off the quickest. There. Now we got things started. For our under eye corrector, let's use Bobbi Brown. This is the shade Light Bisque. Let me show it to you. This is what it looks like. And I apply it directly to my under eyes. I blend out immediately, and I'll be using my Anissa concealer brush. So I don't spread this out a lot. I only put it right here in the dark areas where I need just a little extra help. So you can kind of see the difference there. And especially here where naturally things tend to be darker in the medial canthus of the eye, I put some here and let this sit for a minute before I put my concealer on. For foundation today, let's use our Dior Forever foundation. This is in the shade 3CR. Let's see here. This says that it is a broad spectrum SPF, and it's a perfecting foundation. So I'm just gonna pump out one pump and use that pump for my entire face. I do not apply a lot of foundation simply because as I get older, I notice that instead of covering, it tends to accentuate wrinkles and lines and things like that. And I got a nice medium coverage right away. It's a little bit of glow to this foundation. A nice cool undertone, maybe a half a shade too dark here in the winter time. This can be easily blended though. I'm going to be wearing my hair down today, so I'm not going to worry so much about blending along my neck and down my neck and my ears and all of that. That's going to be covered today until I get hot and decide to throw my hair up. That's always a possibility when you're in your early to mid 50s. I use the least amount on my forehead because that's not where I feel like I need the most coverage. So I just use a small amount there. I think that's a beautiful foundation. What do you guys think? You like this Dior Forever foundation? Let's go in with our Westman Atelier concealer. I just can't read this shade. I'm trying to work on that for you all. So this is a fair cool shade. Let me show you the doe foot here. So I just dab a little on each side. Again, when you have mature lower eyelids, you don't want to use a lot of concealer. Better to go on the light side and have some brown peeking through than to cake too much on and add 5 years to your eyes. This does give a lot of coverage. You can see how little I used, and the coverage is really good on this Westman Atelier concealer. Goal today, do not block viewers with mirror. Goal number 2 today, try to share as many shades as possible with viewers. So what are you all up to? Where are you going? What are you doing? What's going on in your lives? Today is Sunday, so I'm getting ready to go to my religious services. And I like to get dressed up and put some nice makeup on for that occasion. I'll be working tomorrow through Friday. My schedule officially is from 8 to 1. I work for a doctor's office. Right now we're going to go in with the Say Cream Bronzer. This is in the shade Sun Melt. It is the fairest bronzer, and I usually do get the fairest shade, and then if I need to, I can build it up. So this is what it looks like. Gonna dab it on my Zoeva brush and do a very light bronze on my forehead and my cheeks, just using that little bit. Just a very subtle cream bronze to get us started as a base for my powder bronzer that will go over it here in a few minutes. I have an anti-hot flash fan to the right of me right here. So I may have some straggly little hairs that try to get in my face. That Say bronzer is even better than I had hoped it would be. The Pat McGrath stick blush is what we're going to be using next. This is Electric Bloom Glow. I shared this one in my recent blush collection video. I said I had not used it, and as you can see, I think that it'll go really pretty with that shirt. So I put my blush higher up on my cheeks, and that looks really, really pigmented. From all of the reviews I've seen online though, this really blends out nicely. And we're going to be powdering our face anyway, so we can go a little more intense. I think that's a really pretty shade. Wow. Has a little bit of a glow to it as well. I like it. Very pretty. With my cream blush, I like to kind of keep it a little bit further back. But like I said, we're going to be powdering. I haven't been doing this lately, but I want to get back to it. Putting the rest of my bronzer and cream blush just up here on my upper eyelids. I feel like it kind of starts building a little dimension, and I like it, and I don't know why I got away from it. This is the Haus Labs Loose Powder. So we have the shade Translucent. Here's what we have. Usually I use a puff, but because of this mesh today, I'm going to use a brush. This is a Zoeva brush, and we're just going to go under the eye like this. I think that looks pretty good. Note to self, Haus Labs powder and Wissmann Atelier concealer go well together. Now, let's get a BK powder brush. This is the 102, and powder the center of the face. This isn't going to give you as long lasting of a powder as if you take a puff and really push it in. So this is more of a light powdering, but my makeup doesn't need to stay on for a long time today. So I thought I would show you all a different application technique for my loose powder. Let's go now to our Lancome bronzer. I have the shade 01 Fair and another Zoeva slanted brush, and let's go over our cream bronzer with this. To me, this sets the cream bronzer really well. It reinforces it. Also, it kind of evens things out so that there's no lines where you put your bronzer, and there's no splotches. This Lancome is a really pretty formula. That's the extent of my nose contour. I brush here with whatever's left over, and then I brush here, and that is my nose contour. We are going to use this same brush, and I'm going to use this Gucci blush. This is the shade 08 Soft Red. Let me show this to you guys if I can get this open. Here we are. Again, I thought that would look really pretty with that top back there. So let's apply our Gucci with our blush brush. Gonna tap off a little bit and kind of keep this back here on the back of these cheeks. Whatever's left over. I don't like a harsh line right here where blush stops, so I'll take whatever's left over and lightly blend it in my hairline. So far, I'm loving this base. What do you guys think of it? And we're gonna go over the nose with whatever is left, and just a little bit on the upper eyelids. Let's do our lip look next. I'm gonna use my Lisa Eldridge lip liner in the shade Sorcery. I'm gonna use a darker lipstick today. I started to use my Lisa Eldridge lipstick that matches this, but I found another one. That's why I enjoy doing the collection videos. It reminds me of products that I have. So the Lisa Eldridge is not the creamiest, but the trade-off is that it's really, really long lasting. And let's use the Prada lipstick today. It doesn't have a shade on the bottom. Let me show you what it looks like. Very pretty, warm, brown, red color. Isn't that a pretty color, you guys? I'm so glad I got this shade of the Prada, and it's a great formula too. I left my eyebrow products over here when I videoed, so I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and put my clear eyebrow gel on. I'll use the Anastasia clear eyebrow gel today. Try to say that 5 times. There we go. You see that they're there. They're just super light. There are eyebrows, people. For eyeshadow today, Natasha Denona, I Need a Warm palette. I love this. Look at those beautiful shades. I thought that this would go really well with this whole vibe today. So let's get started. I'm going to, first of all, use these two just to get things going with a fluffy, rougher brush. So the first shade is Mellow. Very, very light, maybe just a tad bit deeper than my skin. Just really diffuse it here in the crease and then up almost to my eyebrow, but not quite. And I'm also going to carry this onto my upper eyelid. There's our first shade. I'm going to take just a slightly less fluffy Refer 27. We're going next into the shade Ripe, which is just barely deeper, and we're going to apply this lower in our crease. Here we are so far. Got a really good base going. Next, let's go with Fervor. A little bit deeper brown. Get this in the outer corner. This adds definition, deepens things up, opens up the eyes a little bit, and then we'll go even lower in the crease with whatever is left. Isn't that pretty? Gonna take an old Estee Lauder brush now, and we're gonna go into the second color, Ripe, and right here under the eye. Again, this adds a little dimension, a little interest. I feel like it helps camouflage a few of these wrinkles. Whether I'm deluding myself or not, I don't know. But that's what we're going with, okay? Very nice. Let's start with some shimmers now. I am going to go with this shimmer in the outer eyelid. right there. I usually apply shimmers with my fingers. I don't like a really precise look. There. Very pretty. Hope you can see that really well. So for the inner part of my eyelid, we're going to go here. So I'll tell you what this shade was. It was Push, and the shade that I'm using now is Snug. It's not quite as piecey, and it's a little bit lighter. All right, that's what we have. Now I am going to take a slanted brush. This is an Estee Lauder, and I'm going to combine this warm brown with this brown that's just a little bit cooler but also a little bit darker, and we're going to do eyeliner right along the lash line here. I'm not going to do a wing today. Today I'm taking it all the way across. Sometimes I kind of slant it down and end it halfway in. But today I want to go all the way across. I really want it to be seen. Do you see the difference in my eyes? These days I've been using shadows for eyeliners more than my eyeliners, just because I'm really enjoying the much softer look the eyeshadows give. Last thing that we do here is take our original big fluffy brush and just go over this whole area. Again, I want this perfectly blended, no lines at all. Let's get our brows on now. And this is a trusty eyeliner for me, the Anastasia regular sharpenable pencil. I put my camera up a little bit higher so that you're not seeing my mirror so much. Let me know how you like that. There's always that one brow. This is my bad brow. In my most recent video that will be up before this, I shared this product in my eye collection video. This is the Milk Kush. It's kind of like a crayon. A lot of people didn't like this. They didn't really know how to use it. I'll show you how I use it. So if I want my brows a little bit darker, I'll just take this and kind of gently fill them in. You're not going to go for precision with this. You're just going to go right down the middle of the brow and fill them in. This definitely has a place in my collection. So when I want a darker brow, but I don't want it to look unnatural, I go for this Milk Kush. I have not gotten their tinted brow gel yet, though I do plan on getting that. Let's use my favorite tinted brow gel. You'll see this in that video too. This is the e.l.f. What do they call this? The Wow Brow. This is my favorite tinted eyebrow gel in my entire collection. Brows are done for now. I may come back and comb through them a little bit later, but at this point we're going to do our setting spray. I feel like the products are very pretty, but I haven't been diligent about my skincare, and I don't feel like my skin is as smooth as it usually is. No fault of the products. This is the owner of the skin's issue. So I'm going to take this milk and I use a lot. Getting close to being finished with this. And I have my little anti-hot flash fan right here. And then I'm going to take my dirty sponge. Remember, we don't judge here. We're busy girls. Got a lot going on in our lives. And we do the best we can. So I go around my blush and bronzer to make sure that there's no sharp edges. I go under my eyelids. If there's any powder or residue of anything, I want that gone. I go over where the bronzer would meet the skin, the creases in my nose, down these melolabial folds here, and meld everything together. Now I have to turn my fan off. And today we're going to apply the Bad Girl Bang mascara by Benefit. This is actually a mini. This is what the wand looks like. This is a wetter formula. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I have. Sometimes after I put a good setting spray on, a spray that's really supposed to set your makeup, it kind of acts as a mini primer for my eyelashes, and my mascara kind of really sticks to my lashes and requires fewer coats. Have you guys noticed that? The Charlotte Tilbury does it. Both of my Milk setting sprays do it for sure. The Milani does it. So try that and see if that helps your mascara to need fewer coats. I will go on with one more light coat here. I don't want things to get clumpy. So this is a good mascara. It's giving me length and volume. Pretty. I think this turned out really good. I'm really pleased. This was kind of the vision that I had. So I'm going to put my top on, put my hair down, and kind of help you guys to see the finished look. Be back. All right. So here is the finished look. I ended up deciding to put a little bit more of my Gucci blush on and a tad bit of Sigma lip gloss. I'm a little glowy because I didn't use the powder puff, and that's fine with me. That's the kind of look I was going for today. And I think this all goes really well with my top today. All right, thank you for joining me. Have a good day.